Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Uncut Africa Live. Members of the Gabonese army announced today that they had put an end to President Bongo's regime as they spoke on national television. The soldiers on television were comprised of members from the gendarme, the Republican Guard, and other factions of the security force. Let's watch this video. I'll be back.
It was an election that was intended to end well in Gabon. The presidential results were announced early Wednesday morning with President Ali Bongo winning again. But a few hours later, the situation took a twist with the military announcing a takeover. In so doing, the elections of August 26, 2023, as well as its falsified results, are annulled. The borders are closed until further notice. All the institutions of the Republic are dissolved, notably the government, the Senate, the National Assembly, the Constitutional Court, and the Economic, Social, and Environmental Council, and the Gabonese Election Council. The address came moments after the National Election Authority said Bongo had won a third term in Saturday's election with 64.27% of the votes. The mutiny soldiers announced the dissolution of the government, including crucial institutions. We, the Defense and Security Forces, as part of the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions, CTRI, in the name of the people of Gabon and the guardians of Gabonese institutions, we have decided to defend peace by ending the present regime. There has been a wave of coups in the West African regions, with countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, and the latest being Niger. This is the first coup in the Central African region in recent years. According to the results issued prior to the officers' announcements, Bongo's main rival, Albert Ondo Osa, won just 30.77% of the vote.
In Ghana, we have a say that when it's coming, then it's doing. When it's coming, then it's doing. I'm not that happy. None of us enjoy having an African country going through coup d'etat. But the whole thing is, somehow the Francophone countries are sending some message to the Western countries that things are no more the same. Things are changing. Africa is rising. So all these leaders who are acting as Western puppets, who are giving Africa natural resources for free, are being captured by the military rulers. That is what is happening. This man has ruled this country for far too long. And President Bongo is known to be Western puppets. Like we know them. All these leaders who has been in power for huge years, but they cannot just prove a single improvement in their country, are the actors of the Western. They have been installed most of the times by the Western countries to give away free resources, and they get their sponsors from the Western countries. So these things that are happening in West Africa and Central African Republic is sending a strong message that things are no more the same. Africa is rising, and whether it's about time they accept it, because they have to change their strategy. They have to come up with strategy that benefits the continent of Africa. Africans are no more going to give their resources for free. Africans is looking for value for money. They want countries or they want organizations that will sit down on table with them to come up with good policies that will benefit the continent. We are not going to single out a few individuals that are greedy and you invest in them for them to become leaders in African countries so that you'll be able to steal their resources. The African people had had enough of this act. Most Africans are wising up. Most Africans are rising. We are waking up to realize that we cannot sit down to suffer in a continent like Africa whilst we have all the resources. We have all the natural resources. But at the end of the day, we live in absolute poverty. And all our resources will be stored and sent to Western countries to develop themselves. And at the end of the day, they will tell us our leaders are not ruling the country as it's supposed to be. But at the end of the day, it's you who are accusing us of being corrupt. It's you who are behind the corrupt situation in Africa. So there is a strong message. Coup shouldn't have been the option. But at the moment, we have no option. The only regime that can take over power to make sure things are going right way is the military. Because at the end of the day, if you try to go through the democratic process like voting, they will manipulate the results, and at the end of the day, they are going to win. So if we try to go through this democratic process, it's not working for us. Just that I hope that these militaries who are taking over will also come to power to do what is right for the country, but not for them to enrich themselves, and at the end of the day, we will go back to zero. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks for watching.